Hey guys, so I hadn't done a video in a while and I wanted to get something out. Somebody asked me the other day if I was going to be doing a Greymoor review for Elder Scrolls Online. I wasn't going to initially, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I believe it comes out Monday or Tuesday this following week. I am a full-time student, so it will take me some time, but give me like 2-3 weeks and I should be able to get that done and out. Also, I wanted to do a video of more than just saying, hey, I'm going to make a review for a video game. I'm also upgrading my computer. Well, not really upgrading my computer, changing it up a little bit. Currently, I have a full-size 3950X PC with an RTX 2080 Ti in it, a 4th gen gigabyte, what's called SSD. It's a nice system and I like it, but I initially got it for storage and to run a Plex server on. The problem is Windows 10 is just not stable enough to run that thing 24/7, and I was constantly, you always got to reboot Windows. So every time I do, I'm killing that, connection to the Plex server for anybody else who's using it. It was just obnoxious. Initially, I did have a mini ITX system. It was running a 3700X, I believe, and a 1080 Ti, and I was running an actual dedicated server. And then I figured, oh, hey, I can just upgrade to a 3950X and just, do it all that way. But, I decided I'm going to go back the way it was. I'm going to show some video here in a second of what that other stuff looked like, and then I will go ahead and show you what I'm upgrading to. So this is my current PC. As you can see, it's got lots of storage. That's why I chose this case. It's the Fantex P400, I believe. It's got really good airflow also. So it's a pretty decent case. You can see the 4 different drive slots there, or trays. And then there's 2 more down in the bottom in the power supply shroud area. Also, I'm using this Cooler Master Tower Cooler. This is a really nice cooler. I did a review on this. I pulled with the 3950X running handbrake, I believe it was. 81 degrees was an absolute top temperature it hit. So it did a really good job. But anyway, like I said, moving on. This is what I have right now. This is my dedicated server. Sorry, the lighting is not good. It's just a basic HP server. It's a few years old. I think it was like 2012, 2011. It's got a dual socket, 6-core, Xeon CPU, 24 gigs of RAM. Right now I have 2 6 terabyte SAS drives in there and 2 8 terabyte serial ATA drives in there, and luckily it actually works with both, and it works really well, honestly. So that's what I got, and I'm going to be using for my storage again. Now, what I'm upgrading to, or switching over to, by the way, sorry for the bad audio. My mic is not that great, so I'm just using the camera mic. So I got an Asus X570i gaming mini ITX board, and I'm going with a company called Rajentech. I believe I'm pronouncing that right, with the Ophion Evo White. I wanted to go with the black. I'll let you guys see what it looks like in a moment here. And I'm also going with one of their coolers also. So the reason I did is I like how it's got the fans there. They got the ring RGB going on there. Like when I'm going to put this into the top of the case, usually you don't see the RGB because it focuses down. You don't see the sides of it. There's no RGB on the side. This one does have that. And it's also got a flow, kind of like a flow thing that you can see. It's hard to see in this picture, but I will show that later. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and open this thing up and start putting it together and let you guys see when I'm all done what it looks like. So first thing we have is the motherboard here. This is a massive, it's hard to explain, but how tall this, the cooling is and everything on this. It really is massive. You got 2 basic, slots on it. You got a M.2 underneath here. That's the heatsink. And then on the other side, you actually have another M.2 slot right there, which is going to work perfect for me because I have 2 M.2 drives. The case, which is probably what people might be interested in, I really like this case, best I could say. So it's a dual chamber, well, not really dual chamber, but it's got 2 sides to it. You got room to put a, 240 millimeter radiator up top. And this is what I meant by having fans where you can see the RGB. Because if you didn't have the RGB on the side, you wouldn't be able to see anything right here. So that's part of the reason I went for it. Also, next thing I like to see what they did here. They gave you a good gap. Between, come on, focus. There we go. It's not a huge gap, but there's a good gap between the case and the side. So you can get some airflow in there. Now, if you flip it around, by the way, it has a magnetic top. A dust filter is magnetic. If I turn it around, once again, we got the gap here. And then that's just simply the other side for the video card. It fits quite a bit. I believe it said 330 millimeters, I want to say, or centimeters, whatever. I don't remember what the number is. So it fits a decent sized card. Yeah, that was pretty much it. I will get this put together and show you what it looks like. Hey guys, so it's been about a week since I stopped recording. I ran into a bit of a problem. The cooler I wanted to use would not fit in the case. Well, it would fit in the case, but not with the socket. Right now, I'm currently using a Hyper 212 just to cool the thing until I got my new cooler. I ended up getting an EVGA 240M CLC, which I've used in the past, and it is a decent cooler. So I figured I know that will work with the socket. I'm going to go ahead and pull the motherboard out, and I will show you what the problem was and why it wouldn't work. So here's what I'm currently doing. This looks kind of jank. I had this Hyper 212 just kind of hanging off here. Like, if I pick the case up and show you what it looks like from the side, yeah, it didn't really work. I had to keep the side panel off. Yeah, it worked fine, though. It only got, I think, up to 75 degrees when I was playing games, which shocked the heck out of me for a 16-core CPU. This cooler was really not designed for that. So yeah, let me go ahead and pull the whole thing out, and I'll show you what the problem was. So this is the problem. As you can see, there is not a lot of space around the CPU there. That's only part of the problem. If I flip it over, if you take a look at the back of this motherboard, look at that space. See this heat spreader or heat sink, whatever you want to call it, right there? This takes up a massive amount of space, which means if you have any backplate or whatever that holds your CPU in place that's bigger than the stock one, it will not work. And that on top of it, you got the M.2 right there on top of it. So, yeah, that's what the problem is. I'm going to go ahead and put on this other cooler. Hopefully it works out, and I'll let you guys see it when I'm all done. Alright guys, well, I got this whole computer put together with the new case. Think I like it overall. There are a few things I would change. Let me go ahead and flip the camera around, and I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. So here is the case. I like the look of it for the most part. Cable management was kind of a pain. I'm still working on it. I am going to change out the fans, though. You can see I do got an RGB fan on the bottom here, and I got two on the top. The problem is it's really hard to see these when you look at them from the side. I've never been a fan of these type of fans. I've gotten ones, I purchased some that are also Rajentech, I don't know how to say it, but the LED will run along the side here instead of the fan, so you can actually see them on the sides, and I think that'll make it look a lot better. For now, I think this side is pretty much done. Now the other side, it's not pretty. So this other side is a wire mess at the moment. I'm going to change this up. The problem is right now, if you put this side panel on, even with these standoffs here, this GPU gets up to like 85 degrees. That's way too hot in my opinion. I contacted the manufacturer and we talked about, what's it called, getting a side panel, but it kind of got lost in the conversation. They said they're sending me out a part, but that was for the power button. But I'm not sure if he said he was sending me out the side panel also. They have one that's not a glass panel, but just a side panel with holes in it, so it lets airflow better. I also am going to get some 40 millimeter. I bought two 40 millimeter fans. I'm going to stick right up in here, blowing air in, one on this side, one on the far side. That should blow air around the radiator here and hopefully give it a little bit better airflow. That, and the only thing I'm kind of disappointed with is my case, and my case sits on my desk, over here like this, well, up against the wall, but there's a mess right now. So, and I sit it like this, so you're going to see the GPU instead of the other side, which is all pretty and nice. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't want to rearrange my whole room for this or my whole desk or anything. I might try to find some longer wires and just flip this whole thing around. Yeah, well, it's a mess, but I guess I'll make it work. Now, let me show you what happens here. Like I said, it gets... If you have here's the problem. This GPU, this is like a 2.5 slot. So it's going to be really close to the glass. So if you get this case, I would not recommend having a thicker GPU like I do. Let me go ahead and put the side panel on, and then I'm going to go ahead and run 3D Mark just in a loop, and I'll let you see the temperatures and everything. So this is what we got going on here. I'm going to go ahead and run the, let's do the extreme test. There we go, we'll go extreme. And I got, what's it called, MSI Afterburner to show you the temperatures. Right now we're at 34 Celsius, which is decent, but you can also see the clocks are low. And as you can see, I put the side panel back on also, the glass panel. So yeah, let's go ahead and start the test. And I'll show you how fast this the temperature pops up and how fast it goes down when I'm going to pull the glass panel off too once it starts getting hot. And I'll show you how quickly it comes down. That panel creates a lot of heat there. All right, so we got the test going. Let's just go ahead and look at the temperature here. Yeah, you can already see it's starting to go up. And we are at 1800 right now for the clock. That will drop down pretty quick. Yeah, that GPU temperature is starting to go. And keep in mind, this is only the first test, so we've only been going, 30 seconds so far. Imagine if you're actually doing a gaming session and it starts, the temperature starts shooting up like this. To me, I feel most comfortable when a GPU is from anywhere, mid 60s up to 70. Yeah, it's just really, climbing. We're almost at 70 right now, and we haven't really done much. The CPU, on the other hand, actually stays pretty cool with this, surprisingly. I am using an EVGA 240 CLC. Not a big fan of EVGA because some of the things they've done to me in the past, but it's still a good cooler for the price, so I can't complain. But yeah, it stays about in the high 50s, low 60s, even under load. So yeah, there we go. We got we're up to 74 already. 75. And I think we are now on the second loop on this. I believe this wants to run through 20 different times before it, considers itself stable. It'll give you a percentage. It's got to be like 97 or higher. Okay, I'm now starting to hear the GPU. The fan is really starting to kick in now. If I touch the glass right now, it's not warm yet, but this gets pretty hot. GPUs getting warm is something that's always kind of scared me. I've had bad luck with small form factors with GPUs dying just because of heat. I used to use the Fractal Core 500, and I had, I believe, 2 GPUs die in that thing. To be fair, though, I blame EVGA because I think the video cards were just garbage and just failed a lot. I moved on to another case and they still continued to fail. Yeah, so we've almost hit the 80-degree point now. I don't know if you can hear the fan right now in this thing. It's getting pretty loud. So I'm not going to bore you. If I let this sit here long enough, I've seen this thing get up to 84. Yeah, there we go. You just saw 80. Yeah, fan is still, it's loud at this point. So I'm going to take off the side panel and show you the difference. There's one thumb screw. Oh yeah, there we go. Now my side panel is pretty warm. I'm touching it now with the glass. All right, here we go. So let's take off the side panel. Yeah, you can probably really hear it now. And look at the temperature start dropping. And just to show you, I have not stopped the test. It is still running. And yeah, now we're down to the mid-60s. The fan is coming down quite a bit as far as volume goes. So yeah, it usually drops off in the, kind of low to mid-60s. Yeah, I think we're going to call it good there, about 64. Well, that's pretty much everything for this. I really do like the case. It is kind of hot, though. I will do an update on this once Ryzen Tech gets back to me if they replace the case side panel for me or not. And once I got the new fans, too, just so I can kind of show it off, see how the PC looks. Only other thing is, when we got the new Elder Scrolls expansion coming out next week, I will be doing a review on that. It may take a little bit of time. I am a full-time student, so I get kind of busy. Other than that, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.